Congratulations. Talk about having a song at the top of the charts.
Oh, man, you start, Chris.
Me? Oh, gosh.
That's enough. You now, Shay.
Yeah. Okay. It's fantastic. Now, seriously, you go ahead.
No, dude, do your thing. Come on.
All right. I'm gonna pass this one on to Dan.
All right, this is really awkward. Bad start. Anyway, no, it's the coolest feeling in the world. I mean, it's great to have a #1 song. That's like that's what we've always dreamed about. You know, that's why we moved to this town to be songwriters, to write country music, and to have a song climb up the country radio charts and go #1. And we screenshotted it everywhere we could. You know what I mean? We posted it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, because it's one of those things, you know, that only comes around every so often, and not everybody gets one that comes to this town. So it's one of those things that we're trying to cherish, and we're having as many parties as we can to celebrate it. And it's even better when you can do it with your friends. You know, we write with these guys a lot, Ashley and Chris, and to be able to celebrate it with them is a special feeling. So tonight's gonna be a great night.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's nice. That's the
Like
song
that?
title right there.
Good. Okay, we're done.
All right.
How much does having a great video like the one you made for this song play in having a huge success like this? And give me an update on the dogs.
Oh man, I wore my puppy shirt today just because of that. You know, the song speaks for itself, and we're super proud of that song, and you can't take anything away from that. But the video is something that was, you know, a passion project for us. Animal rescue is super close to our hearts, and we were like, let's do something crazy on this video. We called up our buddy Patrick Tracy, who directed the video, and like, we got this idea. So we support Animal Rescue, and we're like, we don't want to do the traditional video that's just verbatim. Actually, it has kind of nothing to do with the song, but it was like it was one of those things where we work with Proverbs 12:10 Animal Rescue in Nashville, and it's a great organization. It's no-kill, all foster-based, and they basically brought 43 dogs to the video shoot. We ran around, played in the mud with them all day, which was very tiring because we were getting chased by dogs wearing suit pants, which those pants don't have a lot of breathing room, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we got 43 dogs adopted from that video, and I think we raised a lot of awareness. So we've had a lot of people tweeting at us and mentioning it at shows and whatnot. And it's for a great cause, and we got to play with dogs all day, so what's better than that, you know? Yeah.
Dan, can you tell us about some of the dogs that you're fostering right now? I know I see your pictures on Instagram all the time.
Yeah, man. I had a dog at my house. Her name was Nellie about 3 or 4 days ago, and she found a home. So we always want to keep the dogs, but you know, the goal as a foster is to get them adopted and find them homes so that we have the opportunity to foster more dogs and bring more dogs out on the bus. But we've gotten probably like 7 or 8 adopted just from fostering, you know, posting them on Instagram. Social media is a great thing because people, you know, you can tug at their heartstrings and spread the word like that. So I've just got my 2 dogs who are foster failures. You know, they came to the house as fosters, and you fell in love with them, and they didn't leave. So it happens, and I'm sure there'll be more. You know, someday, you know, I'd like to have as many as possible, but getting them homes is the most important thing.
What are your 2 dogs' names?
Chief and Joy. They have their own Instagram page if you want to check it out.
Oh my gosh.
They got more followers than us.
I kind of got used to #1s, but you guys, what would you trade your #1 for? If there was something out there that you wanted, what would you trade a #1 for?
Friendship.
Well, that's a good question. Well, first off, like, honestly, you never get used to them. I feel like that, you know, each one's a blessing. Each one's special.
Yeah, all
you know,
different,
just
very
like
different.
always keeping that perspective of this just is not something that happens every day. You know, all for millions of people. It's a really special thing. We cherish it. We appreciate it. You know, it's not like, you know, we get on the phone like, oh yeah, all right, another #1, whatever. Like, we hype each other up. Like you know, like Dan and Shay were saying. I mean, when, you know, this particular #1. Ashley and I were actually out of the country.
When we were in
it was
someplace.
It was well, I guess it would be what 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. You know, we got on the phone with Dan and Shay. We were all about it. It was
And
just,
let's talk
really
about that for a second. They were in like
We're in
the
the
most
Bahamas.
amazing. They're in the Bahamas, and we're
Playing a
in
show.
like the middle of nowhere, and just we were playing a show. And it was dusty and terrible, and they're just on the beach, just sending us pictures. Like, guys, so stoked. This is what happens when you have 20 of these.
Oh, please.
This is great.
No, it's amazing. I mean, what we would trade. I mean, #1s are not the goal necessarily. They're byproducts. So when you're continuing the job that you love and you love the people you're around, that's kind of the goal. So it's more of, you know, more important than #1s is loving the process and loving the people you're around. So we really get more of a kick out of that than even the status where they go on the chart.
Thanks, man.
No, not you. I was talking about other stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hate these guys.
He's had a lot.
I heard you use the #20. Is that the number of #1 songs that
You've been
I just made that up, but it's probably more than that.
No,
This
he's
was my
over 20.
This is my 23rd one.
He's over 20.
I mean,
It's 23. And
23?
then, yeah, and they say Chris is 13.
in your experience of writing all these songs with different people, have there been situations where you started talking about something you thought you would never talk about with this person who was maybe a new songwriter? Was the song developed? Was there something subject or?
I'm trying to think of
Well,
specific.
like I was saying earlier,
Song
sometimes you
Honky
take
Tonk
breaks
Rock.
and just start. A lot of these songs come from you're writing one song, and then we stop, and then during a conversation, during the break conversation or whatever that is, to try to take our mind off of it, then we find another song accidentally, ditch the first one, take off on the other one, maybe like they did on From the Ground Up, or that happens a few times. So a lot of times in those conversations, we find songs that are better than what we're currently working on, and we bail on that one and go on. But there's a lot of those things that take place.
I think it happens a lot too, especially whenever you're close with the people that you're writing with. I think being just kind of open in the room, you'll start to talk about stuff that you would never think that you would talk about that day.
Right.
And sometimes it's appropriate, sometimes it's not appropriate at all. And
And sometimes that's just right.
And sometimes
it's like catching a wave.
And then you start, sometimes you sing about girls, and then that, songs about girls come out. But I don't know. It's one of those things where you just have to be. I mean, especially when you're close with the people you're writing with, and you'll start to talk about things that you didn't necessarily, have in your mind before you got into that write that day. So that's kind of an exciting part about writing and being close with the people that you're writing with.
Yeah, and speaking of that point, it's always funny whenever you're in the room writing with somebody, especially somebody you're comfortable with, you always make the preface. You're like, okay, this is the worst idea I've ever had, and that idea is always great, and it's always the one that goes in the song, and you just throw out anything you want. And that happens more when you're comfortable with who you're writing with, or if you're just ruthless like Shay and I, we don't care. We just go into a room and we're like, we're going to sing about this, we're going to try this. And
it really does always start with, this is the worst idea ever, and that's always the one that
it's right. This probably sucks, but
Or make this better. Help me make this better, gosh.
This probably sucks.